Hello there, good morning. Filming on this Canon camera first thing in the morning. It is Tuesday, 7:52 in the morning, and it is cold as all get out this morning. 32 degrees gonna be the high. It's 32 degrees right now. This day ain't gonna improve none. We did not get very much of any snow whatsoever. A light dusting at the very most. I mean, it was pretty ugly yesterday. Yesterday evening, it was coming down, but it wasn't sticking. So, what is the most silly job to begin right after all of that? A deck job. And that's what we're getting ready to do today. We're gonna start the deck, and it's gonna start off sucking. We're going to Lowe's first thing this morning. I got the fellas meeting me at Lowe's, and we got to get 20 deck boards, 12-foot long deck boards. We got to get 5 2x12x12s. Those are going to be heavy as a bitch. And then a laundry list of other little odds and ends to do this deck repair. Now, one thing that I do want to mention in relation to this, and thank God that I did this, I am getting a little bit better with my proposals. You may think $4,000 to do this deck repair is low. It is. However, I always throw a contingency in everything that I'm doing these days that says if we run across anything that is outside of what I have addressed here, 20 deck boards, 5 2x12s, a little of this, a little of that. They're getting ready to do a God bless it roof today. I know this camera doesn't adjust well, so you probably didn't see that, but yeah, they're ready to go. Yeah, I put a contingency clause in all of these proposals saying if we run across anything outside of the scope, additional charge. You better bet it. I got a feeling there'll probably be about $1,000 of additional charges in this job, and I kind of hope that there are actually. That would be great. And what I think that that's gonna be is underneath of the deck, the 2x6 joist are probably gonna need some sistering up. If the deck boards are rotted, well, there's a fair chance that what's going on the underside is probably some shit as well too. Anyways, we won't know until we get into this thing, what's really going on and how bad this can of worms turns out to be. In other news, I'm still kinda heated behind the situation from yesterday, feeling like I absolutely wasted my time. 2 hours with this guy, just for him to nickel and dime me over $150. And look, it's not your way or the highway. Abso-frickin-lutely, it's not. And as a matter of fact, you just showed me that you're probably not gonna be somebody that I wanna deal with based upon that situation. This guy has the audacity to be asking me for additional quotes. If he didn't like the quote that I gave him for the tedious tasks, well, imagine what he's gonna say when he's looking for a whole roof and a full renovation. I'm not about to do this guy no favors. The deck, the roof, without even full measurements and knowing how many squares this thing is, I'm basing this off of Google Earth, smaller home, 900, almost 1,000 square feet. I know roughly what it's gonna take to do a roof like that. I'm about to tell this guy $8,000. And then for the full renovation, I'm probably gonna tell him $20,000, somewhere in that wheelhouse. The fact of the matter is I don't want the work. I could see that this guy would be a real son of a gun to deal with. And I don't trust him neither, and this is way too much big money shit to be just jumping into with some rando. I don't necessarily get a good, he doesn't pass the vibe check for me. Anyways, let's get to Lowe's. We're gonna be a little early. We're gonna wait on the fellas. And then we're gonna get rocking and rolling out here in the snow, working on a deck. Leaving from Lowe's, sugar-free monster. Hey, check this out. We got a little bit of snow on the ground out here, and one thing that I just realized while driving to the Lowe's closest to this outside deck job right after it snowed is that just because it didn't snow where I was at doesn't mean it didn't snow where other people were at, including this job. And from what I've seen on the roads, it looks like they got a lot more snow than we did. Maybe an inch or two. And that is not gonna be good. Because the last thing that I wanna do is waste my frickin' my labor hours having these guys have to clean off snow from a deck so that we can see what needs to be replaced. Joe is a big old dummy. We're gonna have to do that though. Ain't no doubt about it. We'll see when we get there how bad it is. If it's too bad, I'll cancel it for the day. I'll just pay them an hour or two for dropping off the materials. All right, let's wait on the fellas to get here. Santa Claus is coming to town. All right, leaving from Lowe's. Got the deck materials, 500 and something odd dollars later, and we're out of there. I thought the materials were gonna be $1,000, but then I forgot that when I originally was bidding this, I had it at 30 deck boards. And I said, ain't no way in hell, we're not doing 30 deck boards. We'll do 20. Because 30 deck boards put the price over $1,000 in materials for some reason. I can't remember, maybe it was almost $1,000. Oh yeah, we still haven't even gotten the paint. The paint is an additional $250, almost $300. So that's where that additional cost comes to make this $1,000. And with 30 deck boards, it was over $1,000, like almost $1,500. Anyways, we got these boards. We're gonna go see how bad this deck is looking. Over, under, how much snow you think is on this thing. When there's this much snow outside, you already know. We need a propane freaking heater to get this shit off. But all we're gonna have is probably a measly old broom. We don't even got a freaking shovel. Yeah, I'm gonna go grab the sawhorse and the table saw. What y'all are gonna do is just work on getting it cleaned off. Well, it ain't as bad as it could have been. This is actually not bad at all. So if we can find a broom, maybe the heat gun, Gene. Get out here with the heat gun.
I'll get out here with the heat gun like this, look. No, it'd be like this, look. Might have to though.
Nah, you ain't gonna need the heat gun. Like I said, I was thinking about one of the big propane heaters. Yeah. The outdoor heater things.
Well, you're a broom.
All right, well, she ain't too bad. Son of a gun, I'm in the freaking bushes here. Ah, jeez. Ah, God. Don't want to mess my hair up. All right, folks, we are out here ready to do it. Gene is feeling it today. Yes, it is. So look at this. Look at these damn deck boards that we just got from Lowe's. I swear to God, Lowe's has the worst lumber selection that there is. Home Depot has a way better lumber selection. And you know what this is? These are returns right here. Some crackhead probably found these on the side of the road and was like, yo, hey, that's a gift card right there. Considering these things are about $10 a piece. All right, so anyways, no water over at the house. This is our fun house that we did a lot of interior work on. Here's some of our materials. I'm gonna have to run and go grab sawhorses and the table saw. I couldn't bring it because of having to load up the truck the way that we did. But you can see that the deck is not as bad as it could have been. So that is a plus. We're gonna be using 1x4s to remake this lattice for areas that need to be remade. And that should be fun. We've got our 2x12x12s. It looks like it's freaking snowing out here. Oh God, it's just beautiful. Anyways, our 2x12s go for down here. And then we've got regular deck boards. Yeah. Regular deck boards are the rest of it. So good to go there. We got 20 deck boards, 5 2x12 by 12s, 6 2x4 by 10s, and then 6 1x4 by 8s. So again, we're not replacing everything, just the worst of it. And that's the bitch about doing a deck repair, is that when it's in this kind of condition, all of it appears to be the worst of it. All right, 9:10 in the morning. We actually made really good time. Shout out to the fellas too for getting to me earlier than I asked them to. They know that I'm always going to be wherever I tell them to be earlier than I tell them to be there. So they picked up on that, and they were there at the Lowe's right around 8:15, 8:30. So we were able to run in there, grab the materials. Thank God for the snow too, because that made Lowe's not so busy. Did have a guy cut me off going to the cash register, and it pissed me off too. Kind of wanted to fight buddy right there in the Lowe's. And here's the deal. We had a cart full of, the wood. Who knows if we were making a phone sale or not. He only had one item, but we were literally turning into the cashier, and he just jumped right in front of us to check out. And man, I just wanted to pop him in his shit, to be honest, because all you had to do was just say, hey, excuse me, you mind if I go first? I ain't got but one item. That's what I would have done. But people nowadays, man, they ain't got no freaking respect about themselves. So what I did was I just mean mug him the whole time. Hit him with the stank face. It is what it is. People ain't shit. And they're quick to show you that. So, no big deal. I'm only joshing, talking about the fact that I wanted to fight the guy. It's not worth it. Maybe prior to being a father, that would have been something I would have done, actually. But now that I'm a dad, I got to be a better role model for my son. And for all of you, who I'm kind of the pappy of as well, too. Some of y'all are older than me. Some of y'all my pappy. All right, I got to run back to my house. Literally, as soon as we got to the job, I got to leave. But I got to go grab sawhorses. I got to go grab the table saw. And hopefully, by the time that I get back, it's going to take me about 45 minutes to do that. By the time I get back, the fella's got that deck cleaned off. Gene is not very chipper today, and I guess rightfully so. This is not a fun job. This ain't one that's going to be enjoyable. Once the deck is cleaned off and we're actually doing the repair work, it'll probably get a little bit better for us. But for the time being, out here in the freaking snow, this is a no-go, is what it's feeling like mentally. Leaving from Better Than Lowe's. I shouldn't say that when I'm looking for that Lowe's sponsorship. All right, I just had to grab a bit set for these guys because turns out, and you're gonna have this, we don't have the frickin' bit. Out of all of the bits that we have, we don't have the bit needed for these dumbass deck boards. Crazy enough. Square head bits. This bit set right here was $3. This 100-piece bit set was $9. I spent $13 on Harbor Freight, whereas if I would have went to Lowe's, this would have been $13. Man, I love Harbor Freight. They got some double bevel miter saws in there that were beautiful. They slid perfectly. Meanwhile, the miter saw that I've got in the back of the truck is a death trap. I mean, it really is. So hopefully things are going to go swell. We've got saw horses. We've got table saws. We've got death trap miter box, and we've got bits. So my game plan here is, here's the deal. Here's the hope. The hope is that today we get pretty far with the repair work, and then tomorrow we finish all of the repair work, and then one more day just for staining the deck, and we're done. So 3 days on this job is all I want to invest, because I need to make like $1,500 off of this. If this is going to be the only job that we have for the week, I damn sure need to be making $1,500. But you never know, we could run into more repairs we could run into more repairs. And that, like I said, could have the price going up for sure. All right, let's get back to the job and get these guys working. I left at 9:10. It is 10:05. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Oh, it's been a little while since I've been able to wear the headgear. Guess I'll leave my phone in the truck. Good deal. Got the headgear jumping. Need better gloves. Let me find out every glove I got's a right-hand glove. That would have been crazy. All right. Here's two of the best. Right there. Hey, we got this cord plugged in? I need this cord plugged in. What cord do y'all got up there?
You gonna fuck it real quick.
Yeah. Cool. Feel like we're building a house.
Yeah, it feels like my first 5 years. Outside is fucking cold.
Yeah, this is some bullshit. We ain't used to this type of weather down here. Around here, down here, something.
Whatever the fuck you wanna call it, right?
Every rose has its thorn. Boy, this cord is frozen. Damn. That shit ain't gonna be fun to work with. You got that star thing you should have.
That's what I'm hooking up right now.
Uh-oh, Gene going crazy. There go the attitude.
No attitude today, brother. I don't have one.
Cheerful spirits.
Yep, try.
It's you can't feel your emotions. It's too cold out here.
My feet.
All right, before we go any further, this will be the next thing that I want to address. I want these deck boards off of here because all of these are getting replaced.
Yeah.
The 2x12s, what about these ones up here?
These guys got to go too. We need to take this off because something f***ed up under here. We got to figure out what's going on because even with you screwing that back in, it doesn't, back there is still an issue.
Yeah, definitely. But are we trying to...
So there's no stair stringer. You can see that. They don't got no stair stringer here. They just built some old jackleg bullshit. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to sister a piece of 2x4 in there,
Yeah.
and that's what that's gonna stand, that's gonna hook to.
Now, do we have to save these boards right here, Joe?
Save the top? No, hell no.
Okay, cool.
And we don't gotta save none of these 2x6s, I mean these 2x12s, but we gotta be careful getting them off because we don't wanna make any more damage than we need to with these toe boards.
All right.
I don't know what that is, that's a 2x6.
We don't want to pull them.
Every rose. Has its thorn. Just like it. And
just cut the fucking board short. You know what I mean?
All right, here's this guy if you want to try to figure the size out. Cause I am the best at everything.
Seated in there. That looks good.
Cause I am the best at everything. Okay, so from there.
Okay, we're making some heat. You got it?
Yeah. You can put it on the table saw for me if you don't mind. I mean the saw table. All right, cool, one board. Hey, I'll tell you one thing, they'll go back in better than they'll come out. Can I get that speed square, please?
All right, where you want me to set up here?
Yeah, just somewhere out of the way. I'm not using that cutter.
Motherfucking
Goddamn nature.
burn it all down. All of it. Where's my gasoline? Okay.
Bruh, it's like 5:30 in the morning as I'm editing this video. I've been up since 3:30, somewhere around there. Anyways, I needed to jump in here real quick and mention as I'm trying to get this angle cut on this deck board. You see me with the speed square right here. My dumb ass took forever before I realized every cut was a 45. This line that I'm measuring right here is not exactly a 45. Had I realized that everything was a 45 immediately, like who would make any cuts on a deck anything other than a 45? But again, it takes me forever before I realize that. So for the beginning of this deck repair, we absolutely struggle with these angles. I don't like that. I want to go a little bit fatter than that. Just in case. Oh yeah, so anyways, real quick update on what's going on over here. You can see a little bit of debris that we've already started pulling out. So we went and got the bit set that these guys asked for. However, you know, this deck was built in 1994, so this shit ain't worth everything's stripping out. We're literally having to cut out the screws because everything is stripping. So everything's stripping on the guys, and that's just not making it enjoyable at all. Like I said, hey, at least it'll go in better than it's coming out. Ain't too happy with that cut right there. Hopefully it's gonna work. All right. Okay.
Look on the side. What are we gonna do?
All right, what's going on here?
Yep.
Okay, well.
Try that up.
Probably cut the first go.
Alright, so. Alright. Yeah.
Is everything cleaned up?
No, it's not.
What you got going on over there, Joe?
I don't like this board. I need to recut this. So we'll use this for something totally different.
Use it for a short piece or something?
Yeah. But I don't like that end right there, and I need to get that end better. So, yeah. All right, let's see if this bitch fits any better. I might need to freaking take a little off. I hope I don't.
I don't want to screw it down until we put the other one in there, because we probably got the pry on.
Well, like I said, I'm getting the table saw set up in case we need to rip anything. We can rip a cunt hair off of it. Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
All right, we're good. All right, so we got that end. We didn't have this end, so don't worry about that. Next thing we're gonna do is secure this and fix this so that we ain't gotta we can get all this shit out of our way. That way we're not losing and getting more confused here. All right, there we go. All right, let's get this guy going right here. Okay. Right. Right. That guy right there. I can't tell. I can't tell if I'm... No. Other way, my bad. No, wait. No, you're right. That's the right way. Sorry. I have those lines across
Is it all cleaned out good?
You go stomp on it all the way down?
Yeah, she should be good. But we gotta rip that guy. Damn.
of that.
Like this, or was it flipped the other way?
No, that's the right way.
Yeah.
That's right there.
Right there, and you stomp down on it. There you go.
How we looking down here?
Just gonna get a foot on it.
All right, well, we still need to bring this guy over some, so when we start to screw it in, just pull it over. Okay? We do all of that, I think we're good to go there. All right, so those two are good. We can just hang tight on that. That's good. All right, let's get it.
On this, you know what I'm saying? And then stomp on that to get it in there.
Let's get a little bit of small 2x4 in here. Give me a measurement.
Hey there, it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Shout out to the fellas. Hey, check out the ingenuity right here. This is redneck engineering all day long. That's the only thing I can tell you about that. So check out these 2x12x12s right here. This is a deck board ripped down for your tow board. That's how it was. We accidentally cut through this board down here, but you'll never know. And then here's a little of what we were up against now. I don't want to hear nothing about nothing, because this shit back here barely even had anchors on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at that. They put one anchor on the stringers. There's a stringer with no anchor on it. We actually took that stringer and that anchor and put it on our stringer. So I had to make these stringers out of 2x12s. There's the leftover remnants of it right there. Yep. We've been cutting through a lot of wood, but this really took a lot of finagling to get this shit right. And boy, she is less than, admirable looking at it, but she's gonna be sturdy. And hey, when you don't want to replace the entire deck, you're up against it. So another can of worms that we ran into was we broke off the frickin' post. Post was rotted to shit. All of this would break if you frickin' sneeze on it. And that's what sucks about doing a deck repair, because there's no easy way to repair a 30-year-old deck. There just really isn't. So far, we've only gotten 2 deck boards in. Beautiful cuts back there. I think they're beautiful cuts. Need some adjusting. Yep, all the snow has melted. Its temperature has warmed up on us a little bit out here, so that's good. All right, back to work.
All right, so I can start putting tools away now.
Yes, we're done for the day. All right, done for the day. Repair work has been done.
All the hand tools going to budget.
Deck has been
Square,
done.
tape measures, shit like that goes in, and the battery's going into the vault bag. All right.
Some of this still isn't all the way put in place, and we still got repair work to do, but for the first day out here, and then we're fighting hell over here. We got to cut out concrete and bury that. I tried to jerry rig it, and that didn't work. So that's what it is when you're up against it out here. All right, fellas, appreciate it. Yeah, I'll send you the address for where we're going to be at. Hey there. Good afternoon. Day is done, 4:30 in the afternoon. I'm trying to get home. And we did a fair amount of repair work on that deck today, and I'm not gonna lie, those steps were a son of a bitch, and that handrail is gonna be a son of a bitch too, but hey, that's another day's problem. Not even tomorrow's problem, because we're pulling off of that job tomorrow and moving on to another job. Ironically, the guy that I thought I wasted 2 hours of my life with wants us to come do the vinyl siding and nothing else. So, what a cheap bastard. I'm gonna make sure that the price is known. Exactly what I told him it was, $1,200 just for that backside. We've got to do J channel as well. That's gonna be a son of a bitch. And God only knows what else we'll run into on that backside as well too. But once we get the J channel, the siding ain't gonna be shit. So shouldn't be too bad. We should be able to bust that out pretty quickly. And hopefully it'll be a good opportunity for us to show this guy what we can do. I'm still on the fence about this guy. But work is work, and well, we need it right now, so I'm not turning down much of nothing right this second. So I think that today was overall a relatively productive day out on the job. Happy to see what we got done. You know, it's jerry-rigged. There's no doubt about it. What we did out there today with those repairs, scabbing, and jerry-rigged. And it's not what I would, you know, want to be doing out there. But when you start to open up those can of worms, man, hey, them can of worms can be daunting. And I did not want to take apart the entire stair assembly, even though we took quite a bit of it apart and we installed 3 brand new stringers that we had to manufacture on the job site out of our 2x12s. But there just was no good way to get them installed based on what was already there. So we did the best that we could with what we had. Story of my life. People harp on me about saying that. Joe, it's some shit work. It's not. You know, the short of it is, you should just tear the deck down and build a brand new one. Sometimes things are just too far freaking gone. And that deck is a good example of that. But that's not what the game plan was. And by the time we get that thing resurfaced, hey, that bitch gonna look brand new. And we've still got repair work that we're working on that thing. And we're not gonna leave it half-assed, even though ironically, it's kind of what it seems like we're doing. But it's not. It only looks that way, if that makes any sense at all. Probably not. Anyways, hey, that's today in a nutshell. The day is done. I'm ready to go home, spend time with my wife and my son. Thank y'all for taking the time to check this out. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think of the work that we're doing. Is it gas or is it ass? You let me know. Until next time, take care.